What's up, dirty plant hoes and all you dirty plant enthusiasts out there? My name is Rachel. You can call me Blonde Ambition. Today we are going to be talking about my Anthurium collection. A couple of care tips or some things that I do. Don't have a super long experience with Anthurium, but mostly like a show and tell of what I've got going on here. Also at the end of the video, we're going to talk about some things that are on my wish list for the future, because I am seriously feeling Anthuriums right now. I've got a lot of things on my wish list. So before we get started, go ahead and like and subscribe if you're into the planty kind of stuff, and if you feel like you may be a dirty plant hoe, because I'm guessing that you probably are. So if y'all are anything like me, which I'm pretty sure that you are, your kids are probably home for the next couple of weeks as well, so maybe we can all have like some sort of, I don't know, it's gonna be rough, you guys. I'm not a teacher, I can't teach. So we're all pretty screwed over the next couple of weeks. So let's get into it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have really been feeling Anthuriums lately. Can't take my eyes off of them. When I'm looking at plant websites, I'm gravitating towards the Anthuriums, and I'm sure you can tell why. This right here in the frame is my Anthurium METALLICUM that we recently got from Aquagenera. Is that how you say it? Aquagenera? Whatever, man. I got it and it looks really cute, and I think we unboxed it like a couple of videos ago. I've got it in a pretty large pot, but the pot is quite deceptive because I only have soil in it, you know, to about yay so high, because the root ball was not huge, so I didn't really want to drown it in soil. But it's looking really good. You can see, I'm sure you can see the light shining through the imperfections in this leaf right here. Maybe not, maybe, I'm too blind to tell. But this is all like shipping damage from like the leaf had gotten crumpled or whatever. I'm shaking the hell out of this table and it's driving me nuts. I'm sorry. The shipping was really good on this plant for sure. I've noticed that a couple of other people have also ordered from Aquagenera, whatever. I've noticed that other people have ordered from them as well. And I've seen their orders come out pretty good. Now in the comment section when I unboxed this, we had some comments like that people had like hit and miss experiences with this company, so can't really tell you 100% that I wouldn't put my name on it. I wouldn't put a stamp of approval on it or anything. Only people who have gotten 100% Rachel's stamp of approval for ordering plants would be NSC Tropicals, Steve's Leaves, and Gabriella Plants. That's it. Everyone else is kind of hit and miss, which I keep ordering from lots of different companies so that I can keep sussing them out, because people consistently change their practices, because people are starting to slowly but surely wake up to the fact that people are ordering houseplants a hell of a lot more than they used to, and they're interested in what they have, and their internet business is going through the roof. So people are improving. Like every time you go to order from them, they're probably trying to improve. You know, everybody wants to make money out there, so I'm sure they're trying. Most of them are trying. So that's probably my biggest baby right there. And we'll just work our way like down from there. This right here is my Anthurium Ace of Spades. It's super gorgeous. I don't know what the best camera angle would be for that, but this is definitely one of my favorite Anthuriums. Like I said, it's just been like, you can't go wrong with an Anthurium with me lately. The beautiful, I swear it's like purple. These leaves get so dark. The back of it's like this deep hunter green with like a charcoal type of veination through the back of it. You remember like on the zombie movies when like the virus starts going up their neck and stuff like that? It's kind of what it looks like on the back of the leaf. Is it too soon for references like that? I'm sorry. When it's sitting there, I actually have it sat up on a prop. The way that Anthurium leaves kind of like to hang, if you'll notice here, do you see how the tips of these leaves? I can deal with not having toilet paper, but I can't deal with no electricity. What the hell was that whirring noise? Now that we have power again, you notice how like these leaves, I'm super creeped out right now, by the way. I just want you guys to know that. You notice how this Anthurium's leaves want to hang down below the bottom of the pot? Yeah, I think Enid from NSC Tropicals actually recommends growing them in like the hanging moss baskets so that the leaves do have room to kind of hang over. What I'm doing is I kind of have it rigged to where the pot just kind of sits like that on like a foundation and the leaves have room. So they don't get crushed and they don't rub up against stuff. You know, I try to be very delicate with my plants. I know it doesn't look like it right now because I'm shaking the hell out of everything, but in general, I try to be very delicate with my plants. So that is my Anthurium Ace of Spades. I acquired this plant from a retailer that also probably isn't someone that I would 100% recommend. If you guys are interested, you can always go check out where I unboxed this video if you can find it, and then you can see who I got it from. But either way, it did come in good condition and it looks nice, and that was the last time I ordered because I didn't feel like gambling on that necessarily. I'll show you kind of how I have them rigged. Okay, so I've got this little pedestal deal, and I'm sure I got it at Hobby Lobby for like $2 on sale or something. Got a little drainage dish, right? So here's the drainage dish, right? And then underneath the drainage dish, I have a little 4-inch water saucer. I cut a hole in it with my shears, and then I created a little platform for my little Ace of Spades. So when I water my Ace of Spades, the water can flow all the way through the really porous soil. If you're ever curious about what kind of soil I use, you can go back and check that video out. Then it goes all the way through that. This is a porous terracotta pot, and it goes straight through and drains, so the Anthurium doesn't ever sit in its own water. I think it really likes it because it seems to be growing like gangbusters. So definitely one of my favorites in my collection. Now let's talk about the next biggest guy. Ooh, he is in a hell of a bind. This right here is my Anthurium Magnificum. This was sent to me by Cody, the Crazy Plant Man, a while ago. Like, I think last spring? I'm not 100% sure. But it was just a little tiny guy, and I think it just had maybe this one little leaf on it right here. You know, this one little baby. And then these next two came out, and I am just so excited because everybody knows that I guess the reason why they call it the Magnificum is because the leaves get very large and pillowy and things like that. So this is probably one that I'm most excited to see it grow because I'm ready to see some, and you can tell I just watered it today. And this kind of illustrates to you guys, if you use like, which I don't think these plastic pots are in stock anymore, so I'm sorry, but the plastic pot I'm using is transparent, and I just watered it today, and you can kind of see where I can see moisture through the plastic pot. And watering it today, hopefully that fixes its little, you know, Cinderella shoe issue here that it's having. I don't ever assist the plants. That's a lie. I do. I don't assist them when they're in this stage, right? So if they're at the very last stage and they just got a little tip stuck, I'll help to get the tip out. But I will not, like, I won't go screwing with something like that. That looks like a personal problem. So this is the Anthurium Magnificum, and it's looking quite nice. Let's talk about pests real quick before I move on to the next Anthurium. I don't think I've ever had pests on any of them. That's not to say that they can't get pests, but if I had to say, is it slightly resilient to spider mites? I would say it's slightly resilient because I've definitely had this guy sitting next to my dwarf variegated alocasia. I know for a fact, just as the day is long, that alocasia's got spider mites right now because it's just alive. That's probably why it has spider mites. And this guy's been sitting next to it for a long time, so he stays pretty clear. They're not the worst is what my point is there. They're not the worst. So next up is another plant that Cody so generously has sent to me. I don't deserve. Which you guys saw it. I went ape over it. I bawled like an idiot and all that stuff. But this is where it actually has had like a slit across the leaf, kind of cut into the leaf. I thought about removing the leaf, but I thought, no, if there's any kind of green down here, I want it to try to be sucked back up into the plant, you know? If it wants to fall off, I'll kind of let it shed it on its own. This leaf over here is looking just the same as it did the day that I unboxed it. A little bit of separation here from, you know, where there was like a small imperfection in it. But I have been keeping an eye on the roots, and it's looking really good. I can barely see it now, but I can kind of see where a root has kind of broken out and is moving across the soil mixture. So that's looking really good. Super airy soil, the same mix for all of them. This is the only one I'm really worried about because obviously, for obvious reasons, you know, not only sentimental value, but also I'm just not as experienced with anthuriums. Like this is, you know, first time you, first time me, Daniel-san, you know what I'm saying? You can see right here on this Warrock where I'm pretty sure a new leaf is going to try to emerge. There's like a little leaf imprint right there. So everybody hold your breath and keep your fingers crossed. But it's always been like a thing where I wanted to be able to get a good looking Warrock leaf in my home. I've always wanted to try to do that, you know, because it would be a big accomplishment, because even in the wild, the Warrock leaves can get compromised pretty easily. It would be quite the feat. Moving on to our next in our collection is going to be something that I ordered from NSE Tropicals, and I don't know how I got so lucky. Like I said, this next one is, or this next 4 are what I got from NSE Tropicals. I don't know how I got so lucky, but one day I went to their website and I was scrolling through the Anthurium like you do when you're crazy, and she had in stock seedlings for $99. 5 seedlings for $99. So if you do the math, that's a pretty damn good deal. Don't know about you. So here's kind of the update on that. I don't think I ever opened these on camera. I think this is one of like the deals where, I don't know, like either we were going out of town or something. Obviously there's only 4. And there was 5 once upon a time, if I could quit touching the damn table. Number 5 lost its life tragically. It just was like a real failure to thrive type of thing happening, because every single other one of these has actually grown at its own pace. And which is so cool about having these seedlings from NSE Tropicals is that if you look at them individually, much like children of the same parents, right? They don't look exactly, they're not identical twins. They all have their own characteristics, right? So some of them look different than others. So let's talk about the differences. I would say this one has done the best. So my Nana brought me these cute little bumblebee ceramic deals. I think it was for my birthday. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember. It was yesterday, it was a long time ago. So it's grown the best. It's put out the most leaves since it's been here. This is an original shipping leaf right here. It got a little pissed off about being in the mail. Then the next leaf that it threw off was this one right here, because they grow in quite the stacking method. This one right here is the next to newest leaf, and then this leaf right here is the newest leaf. And it also has one that's pushing out. That's what this child looks like of the 2 parents from Enid. The next best grower would probably be this one. This one also is the only one that I haven't repotted, and that's because when I pulled all of the brothers and sisters out of their little plastic pot that they were in, just like this, all of the other ones had really developed root systems, but for some reason this one was just not. So I went ahead and just put it right back where I got it and decided to just let it do a little bit more root development before we up pot. So until then, just kind of sitting in here. This is the first leaf we had for a really long time. Not a whole lot of growth. Nothing happened for quite some time. Then it put out this gorgeous leaf. Look at that. And you can tell this is number 2, and this is number 1. And you can see how insanely different those 2 plants are. Same parents, completely different. And then we're gonna talk about our slowest grower. Next up, which you guys can see what happens when I underwatered my anthuriums. I don't know how it happened, but this one just got a little too dry. So this is the original shipping leaf. This is the next little leaf that it put out. Now, that is the cutest daggone thing ever. Look at how tiny it is. These are all under the same exact lot, and they're all getting the same amount of water, because when I water one, I water them all, right? I'm not just picking and choosing who I'm watering necessarily, right? So, and this is like the little damaged leaf that came out, and I think is all my fault. That's what happens when they lose the moisture in the leaf when the new leaf is pushing out. So that's kind of a bummer, but I also thought this one was gonna die. especially when this little leaf right here came out and then nothing else happened. I thought, well, I bring out your dead, you know. Those three, those are the triplets. And now to finish off the quad, we've got the slowest growing, slowest moving baby out of the whole group. So this one right here, this is the shipping leaf, the little seedling shipping leaf. And by the way, they were much shorter stems then also. And then this is our newest leaf here on this one. Much different, right? Much different. Let me give you a side by side. That's pretty neat. It's been really cool watching them grow and being like, oh, well, this one is like this and this one's like this. This one has more intense veination. This one doesn't have hardly any veination. This one grows quite small and compact. This one's out of control. It's really weird. It's really weird and really cool. You know, if I was more organized, I'd probably keep a journal about it, but I'm not that organized, unfortunately. What are you gonna do? Okay, so that's about it for this. This is my entire Anthurium collection. I've got the Ace of Spades, I've got the Magnificum, the Metallicum, the Warrock crossed with Magnificum. And I love all of them pretty intensely. I've only lost one, and it was out of the seedling pack, so I feel like we're doing pretty good so far. So let's get into my wish list for 2020 because Mama's got a hankering for some Anthuriums. Okay, so as I'm cruising the NSE Tropicals website, because that's what you do, I'm looking through here and I've got the Anthurium Ace of Spades, which I've got. I'm not really into the Selby silver, really. I don't like the banana type shape of the leaves. The Anthurium red crystallinum, definitely on my wish list. They actually have one for 75 bucks. Out of stock, obviously. You guys know the struggle with NSE, but they're also, looks like either they're having auctions, either hard auctions or soft auctions. I'm not 100% sure. And it looks like the current bid for this Anthurium red crystallinum is $201. That's pretty rich. So, it's a little bit high for me. The Anthurium ORCHIDum is really cool. I think that maybe Becca from Becca De La Plants has one of those in her bathroom. I love the like angel wing type of like shape of it. It's really neat, and it just really like, it's flowy, almost like a piece of fabric. It's really cool looking. Not a big fan of the brownie eye. Let's see. I thought there was a whole bunch on here that I was wanting, but maybe I'm wrong. I have the Anthurium Magnificum crystallinum seedlings. Yeah, see, 3-pack, $99, sold out. I bet it is. I don't know how I got so lucky to see that. I definitely want to look into getting an Anthurium pedatum. I love the palmate. Someone taught me that in my last video. The palmate shaped leaves, which are absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. I do like the Anthurium radicans, but I have been seeing that out a lot of places, which is reflected on the website because, I'm sorry, baby, which is reflected in the price. It's only $12 on NSE's website. The Anthurium regale. We can just almost stop the whole list right there. Have you seen one of those? Have you guys seen one in like, when they're like this freaking big? Dead. 1-800-DEAD. I have a Warrock, but I don't really think that I'm ever not gonna be wanting Warrocks. One of those things where even if I suck at growing them, dark form and light form, even if I suck at growing Warrocks, I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to stop. That's gonna be one of those things where you know something is challenging to do and no one's looking and you just wanna see if you can do it. And that is that for me. I just want to see if I can do it. I hope to God I put all the names of all these plants on the screen so that you guys can, you know, have some happy shopping yourselves. As far as care tips go for any of these plants, every single one of them is in the same exact soil mix besides this one, because this one is still in what Enid packed them in. So this one's got bigger chunks of like charcoal and orchid bark and stuff like that. But all the other ones that have been up potted, including my Ace of Spades that seems to really be loving his life, you can go watch my soil composition video. As far as pests goes, I haven't seen any, which is really weird. So I'm waiting for them, especially spider mites, because I'm assuming with the sinuses on some of these plants, it just makes a perfect little keyhole. It looks like a real nice spot for a spider mite to hang out. So I'm keeping a sharp eye on everybody, No one's shown any symptoms of anything like that so far. We got some busted leaves, but they're pretty much all shipping related, so we will obviously do some updates on this guy because I'm sure it won't take very long for the Magnificum to put out a couple of really crazy looking leaves. And I just hope to God that my Metallicum stays alive because that is wow, absolutely wow. When I walk into my bedroom, that's the first thing I see now. And I'm like, dang girl, you looking good. But yeah, it's really beautiful and I'm loving all my Anthurium right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about my little Anthurium collection. If you guys didn't know, we have a podcast. You can go over to our sister channel and check it out. Available on iPhone, Android, and any podcast listening device. And just support your girl in general. That would be really nice. I'd appreciate it. We love you guys. Peace out. Later, taters. Bye.